Hello, moviegoers, and welcome to another edition of Have You Seen It? I am your host, Denise, and we are smack dab in the middle of awards season. The SAG Awards are coming up in February, and the Academy Awards are coming up in March. And this movie that I'm going to review has had quite a lot of buzz, and I'm going to get right into it and then tell you a little bit more about the cast members in this movie. All right, the movie that I went to see is called Poor Things. It stars Emma Stone, Mark Ruffalo, Willem Dafoe, Remy Youssef, and Gerard Carmichael. This movie is in theaters. I don't know if it's in limited theaters, but I had to travel just a little bit of a distance to go see this movie at a particular theater. So it's an incredible tale about the fantastical evolution of Bella Baxter, who is a young woman brought back to life by the brilliant yet unorthodox scientist Dr. Godwin Baxter. Wow. Okay, so in this movie, Bella Baxter is a young woman who was found by the Dr. Godwin Baxter. He found her on a river bank, kind of washed up on a river bank, clearly, if not dead on arrival, very, very close to death. He, saves her for what it's worth and takes her back to his laboratory. So I want you to think Dr. Frankenstein. So that's the type of doctor and the era that we are talking about here in this movie. So, Bella has met her demise, but yet Dr. Baxter feels like, this woman deserves to live, and I'm going to do what I can to make that happen. And so he does. I won't spoil how he does it, but, he does. And when Bella is brought to life, she is a young woman, physically, obviously, but she has the mind of a very young child, maybe 3 years old at best. Her appearance is like deer in the headlights. So her eyes are always wide open as if, she were deer in the headlights and has been scared to death by something and she just can't close her eyes. Her physical movement, she's uncoordinated and very stiff in her movements. So everything doesn't click the way it should. So think of the Tin Man in The Wizard of Oz. So that's kind of how she moves. She's kind of robotic and just her body's all over the place. Her intellect, like I said, is like that of a 3-year-old, and she speaks in one-word sentences, and in the beginning, she is very, very hard to understand, but as she develops, as her brain develops and she learns a little bit more language, you can sort of make out some of the words that she's saying. And so this is what Dr. Baxter has created, and they live in their laboratory / home environment, which is very, fantastical, mystical, weird. The when you're looking at this movie, and it took me a while to get used to it, it looks as if you are looking through a peephole. So imagine looking through a peephole all of the time throughout this movie. So a lot of the scenes at certain points have that effect. So Bella is inappropriate. She's socially awkward. She is, she just doesn't have any social graces whatsoever. And she's confined in this home life, but does have a desire to see what's on the other side. I want to go out and see other people. I want to see the world. I want to see the sun, etc., etc. And so at some point, the good doctor has one of his students kind of shadow him. And that student is played by Remy Youssef. And he comes to just observe Bella and everything that she does. And he's writing things down and so forth. But as he is doing this, he is not prepared for what he experiences with Bella. She is just, just out of control and just all over the place. But he's there to kind of, take notes and just become a better student. And he stumbles across some notes, and these notes are disturbing to him. And he finally asks the good doctor, what's going on here? What is going on with her? She's really bizarre. Give me some background. And he does. And then once he has that information, his interactions now with Bella kind of take a turn where he kind of sort of likes her. Well, fast forward, Bella one evening realizes that she's a woman, and she is quite amused and quite delighted in finding herself. I'll just leave it there. And so as the movie progresses, once she realizes that, hey, I'm a woman and, I've got some feelings going on here. I don't know what it's all about, but, something's happening here. And so she's developing. And then as the movie progresses, in comes the cad, the narcissist, played by Mark Ruffalo, who is a lawyer with a different agenda. And his agenda is to sweep Bella off her feet, take her with him to explore the world and everything that she's missing. And of course, as he's doing this, he has an agenda, but he realizes that, hey, wait a minute, she's learning some things too. And she's getting kind of savvy and kind of smart in her own way. So the entire evolution comes full circle for Bella, and as she grows as a person and her intellect develops, she realizes that there is a human element, there is humanity out in the world, there is selflessness out in the world, and these are things that I want to be a part of. So, I don't want to give away too much, but I'm telling you, this movie is about 2 hours and 20 minutes. There were 6 of us in the theater, and myself and another lady were laughing the entire time because it was just that bizarre. And so this movie is one that you want to check out. It is really the most bizarre and craziest over-the-top movies I've seen in 2023. So that is why Emma Stone, Willem Dafoe, and Mark Ruffalo are nominated for Academy Awards for this movie. So I encourage you to check out Poor Things. I think you will enjoy it. And you might need a drink afterwards because that's why I got my little prop of wine here, because that's what I felt like doing after I saw that movie. All right, folks. So I'm going to jump into my Nailed It. And my Nailed It for this week is a movie that has had quite a bit of buzz, but was not was not nominated in any of the Academy Award categories. But I really, really like the movie Origin. And Ava DuVernay's directing, everything she put into this movie was just really, really incredible. And Anjanou Ellis Taylor did a fantastic job portraying Isabel Wilkerson and her journey to, draw some parallels, comparisons between race and caste system in the United States, Nazi Germany, the caste system in India with the Untouchables. This movie takes us all the way back to Trayvon Martin, all the way forward. And so it's my nailed it because I think it's a movie that is worth seeing, a story that is worth, experiencing for yourself. History is something that we all need to keep in the forefront of our mind. We don't erase history, we embrace it. And if you don't see the movie or you haven't seen the movie, I have the book, Caste, The Origins of Our Discontent, which the movie is based upon. And the book itself was fantastic. So that is my nailed it. Ava DuVernay and Anjanou Ellis Taylor from the movie Origin. All right, folks. So you can subscribe to our YouTube channel. Make sure you hit that like button. And remember, we are available on every podcast platform in the universe. Just type in, "Have you seen it?" with Denise, and there I will be. All right, moviegoers, you know what to do. Until next week, I need you to go see a movie because I'm going to see a movie. Until next week, bye-bye.